Our top story, Miramar Martinez and Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz, they were both indicted by a federal grand jury for assault and attempted murder of a federal employee. But now there are questions about the federal government's narrative about what happened. Both of them will be in court. Tia Ewing is there with the very latest. Tia?
Well, Anthony, good afternoon to you. You just mentioned those two defendants. They already pled not guilty earlier this week. And you also mentioned that body-worn cameras must be worn by ICE agents from here on out. That is also something that Miramar Martinez attorney is questioning, the body-worn camera in this case and where she was shot on October 4th. He says doesn't match the narrative that was put out to the media. And in fact, in this court filing in my hand from just a few days ago, filed on October 13th, one of the lines in it actually mentions what was released to the press. Specifically, the headline is what the lawyer is calling into question. The headline read, "Vehicles again used as weapon in attack against DHS law enforcement. Officers forced to fire weapon on armed woman in Chicago." And we have learned, at least according to the scanner audio from that day, where you hear police talking with the person that is manning the phones at that time, you hear them specifically say that Miramar Martinez's weapon was still inside her purse, inside of the car at the time. The lawyer in this case is also calling for all of the documents to be preserved, emails, texts, notes, documents, and a whole lot more. And he's saying, again, that the narrative given to the media just doesn't match up. I want you to take a listen to some of that scanner audio that we have for you.
Female called said she been shot in the arm and legs, and the ICE agent shot her.
Talking to the agents over here, that individual was the lone driver of that vehicle and was part of a caravan that were trying to interrupt ICE operations. At the time of this shooting, she's potentially going to be an offender at this point. Let's make sure we keep an officer with her.
Now, we previously learned that Miramar Martinez was following ICE agents in Brighton Park. This was on October 4th, not Broadview, as Homeland Security claimed. She was allegedly alerting residents to ICE patrols in the area. And behind her, Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz followed in a separate SUV. Federal officials said in tweets and in their narrative to the media that agents were, quote, boxed in by 10 cars, and that one driver who ran them was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. But witnesses say agents were not boxed in, and police scanner audio again confirms that Martinez's gun stayed in her purse. She's a 30-year-old U.S. citizen with a valid concealed carry license and wasn't charged for even having that weapon. Martinez was shot 5 times, and the Chicago Sun-Times reported that her lawyer said in a previous court hearing that the body cam footage shows just before the shooting, an agent was seen holding an assault rifle and saying, quote, "Do something, B-word." The case now raises serious questions about the government's narrative. Now, we are here at the Dirksen Federal Courthouse for a hearing that starts at 12:30. And of course, if there's any updates in this case, we will bring them to you right here live on air. And of course, on our website, fox32chicago.com. Live for you, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
Okay.